Welcome.
Damn,
You suck horribly at that. You suck horribly at that.
Jack.
He's terrible. Look, let me show you how it's done. What the fuck?
it's not just me.
Anyway, welcome back to the second episode in this week's series of Improv Gaming. To my left, you have Mr. I'm Wondering himself, Peter Anderson, with a very nice hat there, I must say.
Thank you.
Mr. Skeleton.
It's got Jack Skellington.
This was one of my hats until you threw it across the room the one day.
No, I didn't throw that one across the room. I threw the other one across the room. The I think it was the Rangers one.
No, the octopus one.
The octopus. He grabbed the Rangers. Yeah.
Good times.
Great times. And to my far left, I have the greatest Zelda fan in the world. And if you don't believe me, check out his tattoo on his right arm. He's got the top horse. Okay, thank you. Stop making noises. This is very disturbing. Mr. Jeremy Bird.
How we doing, ladies and gentlemen?
And today, we're here to discuss...
And if you didn't know, this is the best ponytail in the business.
No. I need no introduction.
Oh!
My name is Nicholas De Jesus, and today we're discussing whether or not using cheat codes qualifies you as a gamer.
Before we get into that, in the last video, I was going to ask you a question.
Yes.
And I saved it for this one.
What were you going to ask me?
As you can see, you were not a big fan of Uncharted. You were not a big fan of Metal Gear Solid 5, even though you are this Metal Gear fan.
Yes.
What was the last best game you've played, in your opinion? What was your one that you walked away saying, that was probably the best game I've played in a while?
You know what? I think, because we had touched on this, I think The Last of Us was probably one of the better games that I've played in a very long time. It kept me engrossed in it. It kept me interested. I always wanted to see how the characters developed. I couldn't do that with a lot of games nowadays. I think Witcher probably would have been nice. I didn't play it though, so
You should.
Last of Us, which was made by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, I didn't say that
by
they...
Uncharted.
I didn't say that.
I win.
I didn't say that Naughty Dog was good.
I win.
I didn't say that Naughty Dog was overrated. I said Uncharted is overrated.
Dude, you got me like a redheaded stepchild last episode. Stop crying about it.
I win.
You don't win.
So my question is, do cheat codes really exist anymore? I haven't seen any since like the early PlayStation days.
Game Shark.
Actually, did Grand Theft Auto have cheat codes?
It did actually.
It did, right?
The
Grand Theft Auto
newest one?
5 had it had
Grand
cheat
Theft
codes.
Auto always has.
That's
Grand Theft Auto. See, now here's the distinction I want to make. Grand Theft Auto's cheat codes aren't meant for you to complete the missions with. Grand Theft Auto's cheat codes, I feel, are meant for after you've already beaten the game and you just want to terrorize the city.
That's literally what I consider cheat codes nowadays.
So that's how I feel about Grand Theft Auto. But what I'm talking about is the parts that make you like invulnerable to damage, like Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 just came out.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it's been terrible reviews across.
Yeah.
Really?
It doesn't.
Buggy.
It looks like crap.
Buggy.
honest,
I
It looks like
still
crap.
want to play it. So.
It does look like crap because they've got like this rainbow fucking like point system that comes up. It does not look like a Tony Hawk game.
And for $60, absolutely not.
Let's see what happens.
But I am more than sure that there are a set of cheat codes for not falling. For perfect grinds.
Yeah.
Perfect grinds. You know, all those cheat codes that there have always been in Grand Theft Auto. See, we just installed the cheat code.
It's timing.
What the fuck is that?
It's called a ruler. It's for when you disagree with me again. I got the ruler so I can smack you with.
What is this? Back in Catholic school times?
Damn right it is.
Damn penguins.
So, if you use a cheat code, because there are cheats, and I think there was one recently where people have been getting banned off of something specific. I can't remember what the fuck it is though. People have been getting banned off of a server because they've been using cheat codes. I think it was Assassin's Creed.
That's funny.
I think so.
I need a cheat code so I can actually see their faces.
But do cheat codes disqualify you as calling yourself a gamer?
Well, okay. I'll take the head of this one. We'll go back in time to like the early to mid 90s when Game Genie first gets introduced and everything else. I got it for a birthday present or whatever. They saw you.
Hit the ground.
So I got it as a birthday present. I never used it. I used it after I would beat a game, or if I beat a game, then I would use it just to see what the other codes could be. Invincibility, set these and those. I never used cheat codes to like beat the game itself. The closest I did was Turok Dinosaur Hunter. I put in the ultimate code. It gives you invincibility, all weapons, and it also gives you a level select and a boss select. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that's the code. Oh, I can do all this. Let me see how far I can get. I beat that game straight through. It took me like 20 hours. It's not a short game, but it's fun. And then literally, I just tried it with all different weapons. Going around World 1-1 with a fucking nuclear cannon on my shoulder, never been more fun. I just shoot that, like with the getting, not, sorry, I'm tangenting, but to get to the topic at hand, if you use them to beat the game, yeah, I wouldn't consider you a gamer, because what's gaming all about? Beating the game, finishing the level, defeating the final boss based on the skills they've given you in the game to I cannot think right now, to achieve the ultimate prize. That's how I see it. If you're using them just to futz around and have fun, by all means. If you're using them, oh, I want to just beat this game 1, 2, 3 with all these codes and weapons, yeah, you're not a gamer. That means you kind of really do suck at playing games.
It takes away from the gamer.
It does. Sorry.
It's when I got my Game Shark with the N64 and that little chestnut.
Yeah.
You know, I would look at the codes and I'd be like, yeah, you know. But yeah, I would be lying if I said after Vice City I wouldn't do unlimited ammo, you know, and just go through town and just kick some ass.
Spawn cars wherever you wanted them.
Yeah,
Spawn
you
the
know.
tank.
The 6-star ranking where tanks are coming in and I'm just like, bring it on.
Yeah.
Because it adds that little bit of extra craziness, you know. Also with, but when you use it on something like, you said like Turok, you know. Yeah, it's fun World 1-on-1 to use the alien blaster, you
Yes.
know. But if you're like stuck in the final part and you're like, oh man, I just need to get through this, and you put in a cheat, it takes away from your skill. It shows that you're not a good enough gamer. The same thing could be said about like easy, normal, and hard, you know. Like depending on what you play as, you know, if you're really good at, say, the Uncharted or Halo or whatever, you'll play Halo on Legendary if you're bold enough.
Fuck playing like that.
Some people play it on easy, you know. Mm-hmm. It's depending on what you feel with your skill level. But if you do cheats, it takes it away, because you're not. You could do it in the fun aspect. I think we can agree that it's the fun aspect to use cheat codes.
Yeah, like
when
the
you
original
want
NBA
big head
games.
mode. Yeah,
big head mode.
Big head mode. When you have like, you know, Michael Jordan going down with a big head, you know, and it's Tony Hawk is also known for big heads and all that. I think Tony Hawk was the king of cheat codes back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Tony Hawk 5, but it's awful from what I hear, so why even experiment? But you have all these different things, which, yeah, it's cool in the moment once you beat the game, you know. But if you're using it just to like, oh, I need to get 30,000 points and I'm not cutting it. Oh, let me just turn off gravity. And then you do a 950 goddamn times in a row and you do a 4,500 spin, you know.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, no.
That's why I remember playing American Wasteland, and it was like, I beat the game through. The last thing I have to do is get a 1,000,000-point challenge on the big, you know, in American Wasteland, you build the whole, like, roller coaster looking area from the different parts. All I had to do was get 1,000,000 points, and they start you in the worst possible spot with, like, 2 inches worth of the ground, and then you have to drop down into a huge half pipe into this, that, these, and those. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it for like 6 months. I kept trying. I played other games in the meanwhile, but literally I got so frustrated. I'm just looking, and literally, you start the game up and it says start, options, cheats, and I'm like, I gotta get these 1,000,000 points. I have to earn these points. I did it, but it's sitting right in front of me. Oh, and perfect grinds and everything. I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah, where you could just grind forever. It's just
No.
it's. Yeah, it's cool to use cheat codes. Yeah, we're not saying it's not.
No, we're not. I'm not trying to discredit using cheat codes because I've had my share of fun where at the end of or when I wanted to blow off steam, even though I was in the middle of the game, I would save an additional file,
thing.
Yeah.
and
Just
then,
to fuck around.
and that would just be a fuck around Grand Theft Auto file that I would have
Yeah.
instead of the actual no cheats game that I had, and I would just fucking throw on cheats, spawn cars, blow shit up. Just do everything I could. I used the cheats in Grand Theft Auto as a means to actually test myself. And the only cheat I never used was the automatic 6 stars. And I wanted to see how far I could get and how many stars I could get and how quickly I could get them and stuff like that. Like how long I could survive with six stars and things like that. Like that was my experimentation with cheat codes in Grand Theft Auto, in the Grand Theft Auto series, for instance. But in other games, like I'll admit that Tony Hawk, I used the perfect balance.
Yeah.
I think it was. I used the perfect balance. But I know, and I am too. But I was never a skateboarder. I just liked the appeal of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the idea of it. I liked the appeal of it, and so I played the games. And after I got sick and tired after spending $60 on a game that I'm not gonna get reimbursed for, I was like, fuck it. Perfect balance, it's coming. But I never used any cheats on Devil May Cry. The games that I loved, Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy. I don't think Final Fantasy even had cheats, to be honest. But the games that I loved, that I really genuinely loved, never used cheats at all.
That's why I love the Arkham series, because there's no cheat codes in that game. Yeah. It's just literally you level up, you get the armor, and you prove on your fucking skills.
Yeah. Well, the reason I like the Metal Gear series is because there wasn't any cheat codes.
Yeah.
It's because the way to get the cheat codes was to do the impossible. And since you could already do the impossible, you didn't need the cheat codes. And the cheat code being the infinite ammo bandana that you had to unlock.
My favorite was
the stealth camo that you had to unlock.
The tuxedo you unlocked.
Yes.
Wasn't that invincibility?
That was I think that was invincibility.
I just remember unlocking that and I just put it on for 3 seconds. I'm like, that's friggin' funny. Yeah. James friggin' Bond over here.
But you could only use one of them. You couldn't use all.
That's
of
what
them.
I like. You only get one. So.
And then in Metal Gear 2 was the wigs, the infinite, the invincibility, the invisibility. Like that. Those were the kind of cheats that I like, but you had to earn them in order to get them. And like Metal Gear Solid, it was fucking hard to earn them. No alert. Metal Gear Solid 2, you had to stop every single enemy and take their name badges. I
remember doing that pain in the assery.
And you couldn't just put them to sleep. You had to hold up every single enemy in the game. Sneak up to them and hold them up.
Drop it.
Now, we're talking about cheat codes. Where did you get your cheat codes? I used a website called GameWinners.com.
Game Winners was the best.
You had that A through Z,
yep.
And you just said,
it was perfect, dude. It had. I used to use CC Cheats.
I remember that.
Do you remember that one? But then I found Game Winners, and Game Winners was fantastic with that little beige bar that went across the screen. ABC. It had a pound. It's called a pound, not a hashtag. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Well, for the longest time, it was backslash for you.
Game Winners was the best. And I think it started off with like on the side it would say like Xbox, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2.
Yep.
And you would click which one and then you'd get the ABC across the top.
PlayStation 2. Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk 1, 2, 3, Wasteland. American Nightmare, whatever the fuck it is. Wasteland.
I used to hate going through that list of names and not seeing it.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to like go. Oh, that was.
You know what I hated? I would try to look for it, and then I would just be like, "God damn it, I can't find it." I was like, maybe it's called this. I would go under T, and it would be the.
Yeah.
I'll be like, sons of bitches.
I never used Game Winners. I used GameFAQs always.
GameFAQs?
Just go there. You'd have the different table of contents, cheat codes. Click the cheat codes. Boom. Yeah.
See, I use GameFAQs for the walkthrough.
Yeah,
if I really need it,
really good walkthroughs.
I would look like if I'm stuck, I would look at that.
But Game Winners had walkthroughs too. But it always seemed like Game Winners went back to GameFAQs for the walkthroughs.
The only problem I had with GameFAQs was that you had the ones where if it's like 1 million pages of dialogue, you're playing a fucking video game. Like, you gotta give me some, like, screenshots. Because I remember trying to figure out a game I was playing. And I'm like, all right, how do I do this? And I'm literally reading line by line by line. And I'm like, what? I'm like, where do you want me to go?
That's why it's nice to see especially here on YouTube, like those video walkthroughs.
Yeah, everything has gotten so much.
That's why I like Let's Plays, personally.
So much easier with YouTube in terms of helping out with strategies and things like that. Especially since these games have gotten so vast that just going there and shooting somebody is not necessarily how you play the game. Now you have to look at somebody else's strategy maybe and get an idea of how they're approaching a situation, and it could help you in the way that you approach the situation, because you might not be able to play like they play. You might not.
Exactly. Like, I forgot what I was looking at. It was I just need to figure out the puzzle. And then I finally figured out the puzzle, and then I was like, all right, I'm not going to watch any bit more. And then, like, after I did that, I did my way, and then I would watch their way, and then my dad's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I did it my way, and now I'm going to watch how they did it, and I want to compare, because I'm like, did we have the same mindset? And most of the time, they would go left, I would go right, especially like Gears of War. It's like, oh, you want to go it alone or you want to be a team? Well, I want to go alone. Oh, they chose a team, and you see those two different dynamics.
Yeah.
It's something to behold. Cheat codes definitely are for the fun aspect. You're not a gamer if you use it just to get through the game. Yeah. And plus you're wasting your time.
Because gaming is all about the experience. It's really, it's a culmination of a couple of things. I think we had this conversation before where what's your most appealing part of a game, and you said that you liked a good opening, or did the opening make the game, I think was the topic, or something like that.
Does an opening make or break a game?
Yeah. And it's not, to me, again, it's not just about that. It's about the journey, and
it's not the destination, but the journey.
Well, it's not the origin or the destination. It's about the entire journey as a whole. And if you're cheating your way through it, then you're taking a vast amount of the experience of playing games out of the experience of playing games. So to me, if you're not playing it with the cheat with the cheat codes, or if you're not playing it without the cheat codes, then you're not getting the full experience you could be getting, and so you shouldn't be calling yourself a gamer.
I agree.
Thank you, Socrates.
Socrates would have asked you a million questions.
Yeah. But why do you cheat? But what does it do for you?
I was saying, like, speaking of, like, what was it, figuring out, like, patterns and stuff? Like, we talked about 2 episodes ago, the #1 Wii game, Twilight Princess. To get the Master Sword, you have to jump around on those little platforms to get the door open. 43 tries. 43 tries to figure out that fucking password. I still have the piece of paper I wrote that down on. I literally opened the door. I reset my game. I literally said, all right, let me try this again. And I wrote left, L, L, R,
Yep,
L,
that's
R.
right.
Wrote the shit down. Opened the door to the Master Sword. Then saved my game and kept that paper ever since. Still sits on my desk.
Yeah, of course. I do.
That was just so satisfying. But 43 fucking tries later without using a goddamn guide. Thank you very much.
I remember doing that in Majora's Mask when I was playing it for the 3DS. Just to fall, I was like, all right, right, left, straight, okay. And then I was like, all right, I'm here. But that's not cheating. That's just trial and error.
Yeah,
that's what
trial
I
and error. That's absolutely trial and error. And that's a lot of games. Bloodborne and Dark Souls being 2 of them.
How is Bloodborne going?
Shut the fuck up. Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. How do you think Bloodborne's going? It's not going.
6 months.
Those are completely trial and error games. The whole purpose of them is for you to die and learn from your mistakes and then retry.
And then find out what
Or just keep dying like you've been doing.
Yes, or just to keep dying.
Or finally learn you can do a weak swing versus
or run. Oh, 40 minutes in. Oh, you know there's a run button. Thanks, Nick.
Why are you using the heavy swing? You can use the light one. Damn it, Nick!
It's a little bit old, but youtube.com/ImprovGaming.
One of my favorite.
Why aren't you locking on? God damn it! Nick's a dick. That's it. I like when Jeremy was like, "That's it. You're an asshole. Somebody else take this one."
I'm like, "That's it. Nick's a dick. Next."
I think one of our first is Twitch as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Good times.
Very good times.
But
What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that you should be considered a gamer if you use cheat codes? Do you think, perhaps maybe you think that that undermining the whole infrastructure of the game is kind of where games come from because it's programming and blah blah blah, and we can get into the whole philosophy of that in the comments, and I am sure that I will have more than enough answers to combat you on that. And I challenge you. Please tell me, what do you think? If you cheat, are you a gamer? And why should you be considered a gamer? We say no, but maybe you say yes. And as always, game on.
Game on.